So I scaled this e-commerce store to $100,000 within 24 hours. Now, I know a lot of you will be skeptics. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what I did and how I did this. So you can see throughout the day, this was scaling very, very quickly, sort of an exponential scale throughout the day. And then towards the end of the day, it tapered off. This brand was doing about $1,000 to $5,000 per day in revenue. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you the exact product this brand sells and how they used AI to double the conversion rates. I'm also going to show you what you need to do to achieve a 30 to 40% profit margin by bundling products with custom AI recommendations. So for this client, when I started working with them, they actually didn't know what products were working and what products were selling. So I built a custom solution that would actually recommend products to customers. And that is the biggest part that allowed me to scale this brand from about $1,000 to $5,000 a day to hitting over $100,000 within a 24-hour period. And then I'm going to give you the exact strategy that I used on Facebook and TikTok to hit these numbers. Now, if you stay until the end of this video, because this is going to be about 15-20 minute long video, you're going to get access to the powerful app that when plugged into your Shopify store will double your conversion rates. And it's the exact app that allowed me to get these sorts of results for this client, taking them from $1,000, $5,000 a day to over $100,000 within a 24-hour period by doubling and tripling conversion rates, bundling products and recommending products to customers using AI. But before we get started, we need a brand to hit these numbers. And I'm not saying something like Louis Vuitton or Nike. We are trying to build a small brand. And I'll explain how this works by showing you basically what products we were selling. I can't show you the specific store because I signed an NDA with this client, but I can show you the products that we were selling on this store. So this is multiple categories for different jewelry products. And this is probably one of the easiest ways of creating a brand is with jewelry, because jewelry allows you to buy multiple products all in the same design, all in the same feeling. So when you put them together, you feel like you've created an outfit. And that was what was kind of working with this brand. But we needed to add a little bit extra to it. And when you're creating a brand, you want to create a sense of community from the people who are buying your products. And I'll make this make a little bit more sense by using another example towards the end of the video. But essentially, all you want to do is take all of the products that you've got, build a niche store, and then brand it in a way using photography and fonts and styles. But also you want to create a sense of belonging to the people who buy your products. You want them to feel like when they buy your product, they are now joining some sort of movement or community or something like that. And the easiest way I can describe this to you is if you link a product that you're selling to a belief or feeling that a customer has. For example, if you were to make religious jewelry, that is a branded idea. Rather than just going onto AliExpress and just finding 20 or 50 different random pieces of jewelry, you want to find similar bits of products and then you want to package it together into a website that tailors for a specific niche audience. So this client had a problem. We didn't know what products were working and what products we needed to advertise. When I started working with them, they were sort of running ads to all sorts of different products. They were pushing ads to the product pages and they didn't know what products were working, and it was becoming very expensive and very time consuming to work out what things needed scaling. And ideally, we wanted to just push ads to the brand and then the whole brand to scale, because we wanted people to buy multiple products. They had stock in all these different products. They needed to sell the stock in all these different products, and they didn't want to have just one winner. So the idea was to try and bundle these products together. So how did I take this store from $1,000 to $2,000 days to $100,000? Well, it takes more than just spending on ads. Now, I did say I will show you the advertising strategy, and I will when we get towards the end of this video, but we need to make sure we've got everything set up beforehand. So the most important thing is I wanted to convert more customers, but also increase the average order value. I wanted to make sure the people that were coming into that store were actually buying more products, packaging those products together. And the reason I wanted to do this was basically if they bought multiple products, then they would be more likely to come back and buy more products on the brand before. They could try more of the experience of the brand, and then maybe they would think, okay, well, I want to get this next time, or I want to pair this with that. So that was the kind of overall idea. The other thing was if one customer spends $20 at the moment, if we can increase that to $50 or $100, we're just going to make more money from that one customer. Our cost per acquisition may rise slightly, but our average order value and our profit will rise significantly more. So that was the general overall idea. So I decided, what if we could use AI to recommend products to specific customers? And the reason I came up with this was we had, when I looked at their email account, when I started working with them, hundreds and hundreds of people emailing in, asking for specific questions. For example, with jewelry, you've got a lot of problems that people have. For example, with silver and gold, people's skin reacts differently with different products, and they wanted these questions answered. And the way this brand was dealing with it was they just had a contact page where people were just sending in emails. And all of these emails were just full of information about why people weren't buying or what products they wanted to buy, and also advice that they were seeking from the brand. So I thought, well, what if we could get ChatGPT, for example, and we could basically get it to say, right, I want to recommend these specific products to this customer, but also that customer may have different needs and it may have different wants. So in this case, if this person wanted to spend $200 for his girlfriend, but he's not very good at choosing, then we could get the chatbot to recommend specific products to to him. But the problem with this is obviously ChatGPT has got no context on the brand. It's got no context on the information on the products that this brand sells. So we needed to build a solution for this. And at the same time, right, I'm still running the ads, I'm still working with this brand, and this is kind of like a consulting period where I'm trying to change their brand and turn it around into a massively profitable, successful brand. So we needed to speed up the decision-making process. That was the overall goal of this. At the moment, when people came into the brand, they kind of went through a consideration and a decision-making process. And throughout this period, it probably took 2 to 3 touch points before they actually ended up purchasing some products. And even when they bought a product, they weren't spending a lot of money on the store, and they were spending too much time trying to work out what they wanted, because when they went onto the brand and they were faced with all of these different products, right? How did they know which ones to buy? They had to go into this collection, they had to look at all the different products and open them, they had to then go into this one, and it was just taking too much time. And on average, people weren't spending enough time on the store to be able to make that decision. So my goal was to increase and speed up the decision-making process. If I could get them to make a decision quicker, and I can make it easier to make a decision on what to purchase, then in theory, we would make more sales. We would get more customers. And then we could actually try and bundle products together and get them to buy more products, not only increasing our conversion rate and the time for people to purchase, but also increasing the average order value of each order. So I built a prototype, and this was the idea. We got all of the products on the website, and this is just a screenshot example here, right? But we got all of the products from the Shopify store, and then we plugged that into an AI brain, essentially building a database that has access to all of the information from all of these products. So all of the text information, all of the sizing information, all of the pricing information from every single product. And then what we did is we then plugged that into a language model like ChatGPT to see if it could then recommend products. So the idea was, and this is a sample that I created, if you recommended a product for dry skin, it would be able to look through every single product on this store. It could find what products could help with dry skin because it can read the context of every single product. And in a matter of seconds, it can then come back with a specific link for a specific product. And it can also give details on how that product's going to help that customer. And then obviously, when they click that link, they can go directly to the product page and buy the product. So that was the idea of the prototype. But I wanted to make sure that if a customer had more questions, the AI could continue to help answer those questions by basically just building a conversation. Because remember, we're trying to increase this customer experience, improve the customer experience. We're trying to reduce the consideration in the decision period. And to do this, I thought basically, if you imagine you've got a salesperson that's able to answer people's questions using that website as its context, then that's going to help us, right? So you can pause this and you can read through these, but basically this is a sample conversation that I created here. And this was the AI actually live using the information on the website to generate replies. And obviously this isn't for the brand that I was working with. This was just a sample store that I was testing it on. So how much do I need to use per usage of each bottle? 2 to 5 mil per application. So it's able to read the product information and then from there answer that customer's question. Will it arrive in time for my friend's birthday? Yes. Well, it takes 3 to 5 working days. Your birthday's in 1 week, so yes, it will be there in time. You could also give the contact information as well. Then finally, if the person wanted to buy, it could then give them the link to the product page, which now meant whatever page they were on the website, they could talk to this sales agent, and the sales agent could then link them directly to a specific product on the website and then get them to add that product to cart. So I decided to scale the ads, plug it into my client store, and it worked. The AI started bundling products and increasing the average order value. We managed to increase and then triple the average order value, and I did a $7,000 day. So we were doing about $1,000 to $5,000 a day. So there was a definite improvement in the amount of revenue the store was making, but we were also getting less orders for more money. So we were making more sales. So we were selling more products per customer, and we'd managed to reduce the amount of ad spend. So basically the AI was saying to people when they come onto the website, instead of just buying one product, why don't we buy a few? So for example, this is another example I put together for this demonstration, right? I want to buy my girlfriend a gift, probably around $50. What can I get her? So what happened here is the AI has actually bundled some products together. So we said, right, well, why don't we get this gift box here, but that comes out to $20 or $30. So we need to get this to $50. To get it to $50, let's add in this bath bar as well. So now we've got a product that's over $50. On top of that, we gave it context on some of the discount codes. So the discount code for 15% off could be used, and now this customer's got 2 products that they can use and they can give to their girlfriend, and they can get a discount on that product because the AI knows that that product's over $50. So all we needed to do was make sure the AI had context on all of the products, and when people were coming in and talking to this AI, it would then recommend them bundles of products, give them personalized recommendations on the specific problems that they had, and then obviously from there, we could not only increase the average order value conversion rates of our store, but we could also see what questions people were asking, and then from that, we could use that in our marketing. For example, right, if we go back to this one here, this demonstration that I gave you, if somebody asked this question, we know if we get a lot of people asking about dry skin, then dry skin is one thing that we need to focus on in our marketing. We know that people are trying to solve that problem, and if we haven't got that information on our website or in our ad, we're losing customers and we're spending money on ads and not converting customers who have this problem. So we can now use this information in our marketing. So we were not only increasing the revenue, but we were also gathering a lot more data, and you can see it actually started to work. So anyway, long story short, I kept working on this product, I kept improving it until eventually I then started to test it on other stores. Now I was working with other clients at the time, and then I started to actually roll it out as like a product that people could then use on their own stores. So you can see this guy here, $42,000 in a 30-day period using AI recommendations. He is using the exact same product that I built, and this obviously managed to scale his store rapidly. This guy here, $1,000 in a day using product recommendations from this AI. This guy here, $50,000 in a day using product recommendations. Thousands of people started using this product, thousands of people started seeing success, and obviously from that success, I kept improving and iterating the product. So this is the result of what happened, and this is how I was able to scale that store so quickly. Suddenly, I started to increase the ad spend, and I'm going to get to the advertising strategy in a second. But basically, we were getting thousands of people onto the website. All of those people were then adding to cart, checking out and purchasing. We had a very, very high conversion rate on the website because people were able to get specific recommendations. And if you think about it, it makes sense. When you go into the Apple store, there is an Apple genius who comes over and he will then talk you through the products. He will help you make a decision on what you're buying because he knows some of their products can be quite confusing and complicated for some customers. So if he can help them make a decision, if he can help answer the questions, then he is going to increase the conversion rate. So basically the problem that you have when people visit your store and they're not buying your products is because you have limiting beliefs in the customer's mind, and this is stopping people from buying. And to stop them from, or to get over these limiting beliefs, what we need to do is give them more information. By letting them leave and think about it, they're not getting any more information. All they need to do is talk it through with a salesperson. But we can't afford to have somebody sitting on the website 24/7 talking through these things. But now we've got an AI that has context on all of the products that can talk through all of these things. But not only that, it can then match different products together specific to that customer. So if the customer is looking for a specific solution for a very specific problem, then it can put together these products. And you can see it started to work. $77,000 around the 3 p.m. mark on this store, and by the end of the day, $109,000 in sales. This is a rapid increase in sales on this store. By bundling products, increasing the average order value, we were able to hit $100,000 in a 24-hour period. So before I show you the advertising strategy, if you guys are interested in using this AI to increase the conversion rates of your Shopify store, then the link is down below in the description. I've built the product for you. You can actually get started for free for 7 days. You can use the product. If you watch this video here on this website, it's going to show you a lot more information about what the product can do to help you. It's incredibly simple to set up. You can read some of the testimonials and everything on the site. It's incredibly easy to use. I would be very interested to hear your comments down below. Let me know what you think of this AI, but as you can see, it massively increased the conversion rates on the store. Now, I did say I would show you the winning advertising strategy that I used for this store, and it basically comes down to a very, very simple thing called creative testing. Now, depending on what you're doing and how you're advertising, it really depends on what you are testing, but basically, for TikTok and Facebook, we need to make sure that we have creatives that convert. This is one of the examples of a previous video that I did where I was talking through advertising strategies on TikTok. And it's much less how to advertise on those platforms, but more how many creatives can you test. The biggest difference that moves the needle for brands is not the specific advertising strategy, right? I have a different advertising strategy to somebody else. Yours may be different to mine. The point is, find one strategy that works for you and stick to it. But the most important thing that you can do is find adverts, find creative, find content that you can use that is going to convert people. It's the first touch point they have with your brand. And if it's not high quality and it's not going to convert people, it's not going to sort of show them the problem that you're solving, then it's not going to convert. So with that being said, this is what I did. Finding winning creatives. Now, you can either build the creatives yourself, you can pay people to create creatives. At the moment, you can now use AI to massively increase how many creatives you're testing. So I had one campaign for creative testing, and this campaign is running 24/7. So I would say you want to put 10% of your budget into creative testing. That is because we want to make sure that every single time we want to scale, at any one given moment, we have 5 to 10 creatives that are profitable and bringing in conversions. And this doesn't mean just randomly testing creatives. This means looking at what's working and what's not working and iterating off that. So we had one campaign, one broad ad set, 5 to 10 creatives. That is it. And by the way, if any of you are curious, this is always a purchase conversion campaign. I never run anything other than purchase conversions because I'm trying to get purchases. It doesn't matter if you run add to carts, just don't do it. Just run purchase conversions. It's the only way to see success. And basically what I'm doing here is I've got one, so if we draw this out as like a tree diagram, we've got one campaign here. We've got one ad set. In that ad set, I'm targeting broad. Now you can do demographic targeting if you want. For example, if you're selling products for people who are over 18, then do demographic targeting. Typically I do 18 plus because those people don't need to go and ask their parents for their credit card information. And then what we've got here is 5 different adverts. These different adverts are, especially on TikTok, right? These are vertical format videos, and they can be variations of each other, right? They can basically be, imagine if you've got a timeline here of a video. If this video here, we just swap out the hook and then the rest of the video is the same, that is a variation of a video, right? So here, this is video 1, this is video 2. We've got hook 1 and then we've got hook 2, right? These are 2 different ad creators that we're testing. And what we're doing is we're looking at multiple things when we're looking at this. We're looking at our key performance indicators. We're trying to work out which ad's working best. And the most important thing to be looking at right at the start is your cost per click and your click-through rate. If you can get more traffic onto your site for less, you are getting a better conversion rate on your website. You're making more money and more profits just because you're getting more traffic. Assuming everything else stays the same, that is the first thing you want to be looking for. So click-through rate is very important. If you can try and get greater than a 2% click-through rate, you are kind of in a very, very good position. Now, that's why I like to start off testing the hooks, especially when I was starting working in a brand, because the hooks are the easiest thing to test. We can just keep the video the same, we can swap in a new hook and see if that retains the viewer. And the reason we do this is because if you can imagine, especially on TikTok, right, it's very much a creative platform. If this is the viewer retention of an advert and we can get somebody in and we can get them watching more of the video, then we're going to get more people actually learning about the product and thinking about buying the product. Whereas if we've got a worse hook, we're losing more of the audience and then the video retains that audience the same amount. We've actually got less people watching that advert, which means we've got less people learning about the product. So that first 3 seconds is incredibly important. Now you probably know all of this stuff, but this is a very quick way of iterating and creating content. Then what we do is I let this run probably for about $5 per ad. After that, I turn off the ad if it's not working. And when it's not working, you need to set your own KPIs for that. Now, I keep on swapping in new creatives as the week goes on. So as I turn off an ad, I'll switch in a new advert. So every single week, we're testing 5 to 10 creatives. Depending on your budget, you want to move to the higher mark of that. So 15, 20 creatives per week is going to be better than 5 creatives per week, right? The more creatives you can test, the better. But obviously, it depends on your budget. Now, check the KPIs. I've just gone through that. Then we're going to transition that to a main campaign. We have one CBO, 5 ad sets with 4 audience tests and 1 broad audience. Then we're going to have the top 5 creatives in each ad set. So now we have a campaign. This is a campaign here. We've got 5 ad sets. I'm just going to draw 3 because I can't be bothered to draw it all out. We've got 1 which is a broad ad set. We've got 1 here which is just an audience. This is another audience. And all I mean by audience testing is you find an audience you think will buy your product. So if you're doing streetwear, for example, you will basically just have streetwear as one of your audiences, right? And obviously it depends on what you can target, right? And then after that, each one of these ads has each one of these ad sets has 5 ads in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And these are the 5 ads that we have seen working from our creatives, right? So imagine, right, you've got your creative testing, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you've got 100 bloody videos. It doesn't really matter how many videos you've got a lot of videos in your creative testing. You want to then filter those creatives by cost per click. First of all, you want to then pick out and you want to say, right, this one, and this one are my 3, sorry, actually no, they're not. I want to get rid of that one. So the best performing creatives in this test here are these 3. At the very least, it's these 2 creatives. So these 2 are the first 2 creatives that I think will be working the best. So we're going to use those in our second campaign, right? The main campaign. You can then have a look, okay, what's the cost per add to cart? Well, here we go. This one's got the cheapest cost per add to cart. This one's got the second cheapest cost per add to cart. Hardly a surprise because the cost per click is also cheaper. And then we have a look at the cost per initiate checkout. Okay, well, this one's getting more initiate checkouts. This one hasn't got any initiate checkouts, but it's also got 18 clicks. This has got 670 clicks. So maybe we need to let this one run a little bit more. It's got 12 purchases at $8 per purchase, 2.4 ROAS. Excellent. Right, so this is a very good advert. We can use this advert. Now, we can also have a look at these other ones, and although there's not much there's a difference between the cost per click, this one's actually getting a higher ROAS, and so is this one. So we can actually test each one of these adverts if we want to. At the end of the day, you want to choose your main KPI, and for me, that main KPI is the return on ad spend. If I'm making money from spending money on those ads, then I'm going to test running more money towards those ads. Just because these ones have got cheaper cost per clicks doesn't mean those are the only 2 that I'm going to run at scale. Finally, we then transition these to a scaling campaign. We have one CBO at $500 budget per day, 4 of the top ad sets with the top winning 2 to 3 ads. So it's exactly the same structure as this one, but instead of having the 5 different ad sets, 1 broad and 4 different audiences, we take out of these the best ad sets that performed, and then we use the top, what did I say, 3 or 4? Top 3 or 4, it doesn't really matter the number. You want to have more than 3 ad sets from this test. And then out of this test, again, you want to take the top best creatives. So let's say these 3 creators were the best and this audience was the best. We then take this and we put it into a CBO campaign. Now, if you don't have enough audiences, just duplicate this 3 times. But that is basically the advertising strategy. I can do another video on this, but guys, if you have any additional questions on how I scaled the store to $100,000 in a 24-hour period using AI, let me know down below in the comments. Like I said, if you want to start recommending products to your customers, the link is down below in the description. Go ahead, start a free trial for ChatIQ. Click on this button here. Create your free account, put in your card details, you get a 7-day free trial. It's not going to charge your card, and you can cancel anytime after that, and then you can build your own custom AI chatbot, which is basically able to convert more customers on your website.